What's good, y'all? It's your boy Church Boy UB back with another video. Today we're gonna check out, is Kraft real cheese? Is Kraft macaroni? What is Kraft? Is it made with real cheese? So we're gonna see the history of Kraft sliced cheese, and we're gonna see if it's real cheese or not. So hope y'all having a blessed day. Let's get into it.
Seemed too good to be true. Households across the U.S. were delighted at a low-cost cheese option that simply refused to spoil. Until the questions started coming in. What is this stuff? How can sliced cheese stay good for so long? Is it actually food? Well, today we're wheeling in the facts as we ask, are Kraft singles really cheese? But before we cut the cheese, why don't you hit that subscribe button? Then head on down to the comments and let us know what other miracle products you want to hear about next. For now, we're single and ready to mingle. For the origins of processed cheese that eventually became known as American, we need to head to Switzerland in 1911. It was there that Walter Gerber and Fritz Stettler combined shredded Emmentaler, also known as Swiss cheese or the one with all the holes that you see in cartoons, and mixed it with sodium citrate to create a smoother cheese that would also prevent spoilage. This method allowed for scraps of leftover cheese to be melted into a uniform product that could be reheated without burning or becoming greasy like so many cheeses before it. Indeed, it seems to have been created specifically for cheese dip and cheeseburgers. In 1916, a patent was awarded for a new version of processed cheese. By heating cheddar and whisking the ever-loving heck out of it to sterilize, you could create a shelf-stable product that could preserve flavor and last for months. Add in a bit of sodium citrate and sodium phosphate to give this new cheese a creamy texture, and you're looking at one of the most important culinary inventions of the 20th century. This new patent helped industrialize cheese production in the U.S., and it was all thanks to a Canadian-born Chicagoan who decided he wanted to sell cheese. That man's name was J.L. Kraft. Yep, that Kraft. James Lewis Kraft set out from the untamed North to Chicago with dreams of curds and whey in 1903. Originally a grocery store owner, Kraft began wholesaling cheese when he noticed the amount of waste created by making large cheese wheels with short shelf lives. And if there's one thing no grocer can bear seeing, it's cheese going to waste. By 1916, Kraft had established J.L. Kraft & Brothers Company and owned the patent on the process which created shelf-stable processed cheese that also maintained its flavor. Using scraps of leftover cheddar whisked at exactly 175 degrees, Kraft instantly became a pioneer of cheese production. Early business was good for Kraft, thanks to the help from his brothers Charles Herbert, Frederick, John, and Norman, who would go on to change the cheese game forever. In 1935, Norman Kraft began development on ways to make cheese more convenient for the cheesemakers. He discovered that when cheddar was melted into a liquid and poured onto a cold table, it could be rolled out completely flat and cut into squares. After the process was refined, using chilled rollers to manage the warm, sticky cheddar, the first machine-sliced processed cheese product was born. History would go on to dub this particular process of cheesemaking the American method. Whatever Kraft was doing, they were doing it well. With their immediate commercial success, they were able to keep innovating their methods and perfecting their recipe. Their processed cheese was a huge benefit during both world wars, with over 40% of cheese consumed in the U.S. by 1930 being sold by Kraft. Soldiers were able to dine on a cheese product that could stand up against the grueling conditions of war, which is presumably why every slice feels vaguely bulletproof. By the time 1950 rolled around, Kraft was at the top of the cheese game thanks to their nifty new Kraft Deluxe Processed Slices. Peelable slices of cheese which were stacked in small blocks and sold in delis and supermarkets. It's still sold today as the top-shelf Kraft singles brand, insofar as such a thing exists. It turns out peelable cheese technology was just the boom the industry was looking for. The product became an almost overnight success, with some grocers reporting cheese sales climbing up to 150% after the deluxe debut. Many imitators and competitors would emerge, but Kraft were the first to bring this idea to market. In 1956, the world of processed cheese experienced its next major shift when engineer Arnold Nowrotsky saw these blocks of peelable cheese and said, there has to be a better way. He patented a machine that could individually wrap slices of cheese to prevent sticking, catching Kraft's eye in the process. Kraft would go on to adopt this technology in 1965 with the launch of their now world-famous Kraft American Singles. Now, post-World War II American households had a convenient path to cheese that was pre-sliced and yet stayed fresh and kept its texture longer than any other cheese on the market. Kraft Singles remain one of the company's most iconic products, with over 40% of households in America purchasing the slices today. Kraft Singles and American cheese in general get a pretty bad rap outside of the United States, thanks to the questionable nature of its longevity. How can a dairy product last so long and not send you to poison control after you eat it? It doesn't help that it has the texture, consistency, and sheen of yellow plastic. Delicious yellow plastic. The Federal Trade Commission had their own concerns in 1992, when it took Kraft to task over the packaging of Kraft Singles, which claimed that each individually wrapped slice contained 5 ounces of milk, which is roughly the equivalent of 1 glass of milk. It was a bold claim, because it was nowhere near true. The campaign was deemed deceptive, and Kraft had to stop making aspirational claims about its cheese. The company has also gotten in hot water over its
And it's funny because it's nothing new, because I'm sure many other companies do this. They lie on a commercial or try to make their product sound so amazing and so good, but do investigation is far from the truth. So not surprised that they lied about that. I mean, a lot of these companies do, especially in America. So I'm glad they actually did that research and debunk what they were saying, because there's a lot of trickery in these commercials. So I ain't surprised.
intentional ingredients. With the innovation of automatic cheese wrapping machines came an unexpected and significant issue in September of 2023, when Kraft was forced to pull 83,800 cases of its American processed cheese due to a defect during the packaging phase. One wrapping machine malfunctioned, leaving plastic embedded in the singles even after the wrapper was removed. Folks biting into a grilled cheese or burger reported choking and gagging on the inedible additions, not to mention the stench of melted plastic enveloping every cheeseburger. The machine was repaired and Kraft tightened up quality control. Since then, while Kraft Singles have continued to kind of look like plastic, they haven't actually contained any. And while we're on the subject of cheesy no-nos, can we stop that trend of throwing Kraft Singles at baby heads? Unless you are going to eat that baby, it's a big waste of cheese. What would James Kraft think? Okay, the question burning through the center of the quesadilla is, are Kraft Singles actually cheese? Well, according to FDA standards of identity, to qualify as cheese, a product must contain more than 51% cheese curd to qualify as cheese. Turns out, cheese labeling has all sorts of caveats when deciding what is and is not allowed to be cheese. If vegetable oil is used instead of dairy, the product cannot use the word cheese and must instead be labeled as American slices or sandwich slices, without specifying what those slices may be. Cheesemakers pushed for legislation to distinguish real cheese from this imposter cheese by mandating stricter labeling guidelines. Kraft Singles falls slightly under the 51% cheese metric, which means the company is legally prohibited from labeling Kraft Singles as cheese. For a while, the product was labeled pasteurized processed cheese food, but they had to remove the food part after an ingredient change. They also had to change up their commercials, as a lot of them ran with a debunked claim that each slice contained 1 glass of milk. Kraft Singles do contain the stuff you want to see in cheese, like milk and whey, but the list of it
My bad, guys.
goes on to include milk protein concentrate, milk protein concentrate, milk fat, sodium phosphate, calcium phosphate, salt, sorbic acid, cheese culture, enzymes, annatto, and paprika extract.
Good. But what is it? Looks good.
Get the Google
What
app
is it?
and tap Lens to translate.
Get the
Then
Google
see it
app
in your
and tap Lens to translate. Then see it in your language.
All those additives add up to something now called pasteurized prepared cheese product, but it's still not legally allowed to be called cheese. You can do so in the privacy of your own home. Just make sure nobody is listening. Today, all of Kraft's processed cheese business is conducted by the Kraft Heinz Company, formed after the 2015 merger of Kraft Foods Group and the H.J. Heinz Company. Kraft itself had split 3 years earlier when its North American division became Kraft Foods Group, and the remaining global snack business renamed itself Mondelez International. So, update your fantasy roster, I guess. Under the Mondelez International umbrella lives the likes of Philadelphia cream cheese, Oscar Mayer, Jell-O, and Kool-Aid. But Kraft singles are a far cry from the cheese boom of the mid-20th century. Back when processed cheese was new and fresh, folks couldn't get over the convenience of the stuff, with few consumers wondering just what it was they were eating. Sales of Kraft singles today have been steadily declining since 2014, with consumers now focusing more on natural, healthy foods and working to eliminate processed foods from their diets as much as possible. This means folks are less likely to reach for a nigh invulnerable block of American slices. But that doesn't mean our favorite cheese-like product is going anywhere. Demand saw a bit of a bump during the COVID-19 pandemic, with almost a 10% surge in sales in 2020. A 2021 YouGov poll placed American cheese in second, just behind cheddar cheese for most preferable cheese. And like we mentioned earlier, Kraft singles still find themselves in over 40% of American households, firmly retaining its crown of the best-known cheese in the country. But more importantly, they're still pretty darn good on a cheeseburger. So what do you think? Do you have a package of Kraft singles in
I don't eat Kraft cheese. I've been just eating straight shredded cheese. I've been cooking more, so the answer is Kraft cheese is not real cheese. You just seen it said it's considered real cheese if it's over 51%. Under that, it gotta be considered American slices or something else. Well, it should be it should be considered 100. It should be 100% thing instead of over 51%. So that's pretty wild. So we just got our answer. So y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment what y'all think. Do y'all eat Kraft cheese slices? If you do, now you know what's in it. If you do, now you know if it's cheese or not. So y'all hit the comments up and let me know. And y'all have a blessed one. It was a little bit of a history thing, but that was interesting because I never seen this one yet. So y'all have a blessed one. The Most High, I love you. I love you. Share this video because people need to see this. It's the summertime. We know we got the barbecue pit out, burgers, and all this. So y'all hit people up with this video, share the video, and encourage y'all to continue to find organic cheese and other stuff. So y'all do what y'all want with the information on today. Y'all have a blessed one. We out.